I'm Todd Matthews. It's 9:30, and we're helping out that young lady with her engagement question. We're helping out folks who got scammed in one of these COVID-19 scam things that's going around. But also, it is our pleasure to help out on Wednesday mornings, and we have traditionally for many, many years now, with Ask the Lawyer. Our friend and attorney for the injured, Bruce L. Scheiner, weighs in on a question that perhaps you submitted somewhere along the line. We'll find out if your question gets answered today. But first, would you please help me welcome Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, Todd. Welcome back.
Thank you. It was a nice little bit of downtime, but I missed being here, and I missed talking with you.
And Happy New Year to you.
And the same back to you and the entire family, as always. We've got a question sitting in front of us here that I hope there's enough information for you to weigh in on. We'll find out. Can I go ahead and get into it for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, here's what today's question says. My friend was riding his motorcycle and was hit by someone who failed to stop at a stop sign. The guy who was at fault only had $10,000 in coverage. He told the police officer that he was on his way to see a client for a local accounting firm. My friend was hurt pretty severely and needs surgery, and $10,000 is not going to be nearly enough. Is there anything else he can do to get his medical bills paid, not to mention lost wages? Is that enough to go by? Can you figure something out?
I got the answer.
Oh, good. Okay, let's hear it. I knew you'd come up with something.
Well, you know, the important factor is that he was working for his accounting firm.
Right.
So when you're driving a motor vehicle, in the course and scope of your employment, your employer is responsible for your actions.
Okay.
So the accounting firm would be responsible for his medical bills and lost wages, but the intangible damages such as pain and suffering, inconvenience, the inability to enjoy life, and all the other intangible damages that you're entitled to obtain full restitution.
Right.
Now, I'd like to make a couple of comments. Number one, it's important to note that he was on a motorcycle because motorcycles, unlike cars, don't have personal injury protection or PIP coverage, which provides $10,000 of medical bills. So when you're on a motorcycle, you got to make sure you're adequately protected. Even if this negligent person wasn't working for his accounting firm, hopefully the motorcycle driver would have had sufficient coverage of uninsured motorists that would help, give him full restitution. And since we're at the new year, I would like everyone listening to this program to make a New Year's resolution to check with their insurance agent and make sure that they have high levels of uninsured motorist coverage that is stacking.
Stacking is important.
Stacking is very important. Everybody should make sure they have as much uninsured motorist coverage of the stacking form that they can afford.
Okay. That's an excellent idea for a New Year's resolution. And I know many times we've talked about this in the past. If anybody's confused, they're not quite sure, they can't get a hold of their agent right away, they'd like to know if their coverage is sufficient or adequate, they can always call your office and ask that question, right?
Yeah, call the office and ask for me and review their insurance coverages with them because it's critically important.
And I'll give that number out in just a second in case anybody wants to take advantage of that. But in this case, it looks like we're going to have to find out who this driver was working for, the accounting firm, and then pursue that avenue, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear because it does sound like he's going to be in for a lot more than $10,000 in medical bills. And like you said, that doesn't even begin to touch the pain and suffering, the lost wages and everything. So very important being on a motorcycle, too, that he contacts a legal professional that has lots of experience with motorcycle crashes, don't you think?
I think that's a great idea. And, I'm sitting here looking out the window and seeing what a beautiful day it is in Southwest Florida.
Yep.
And I understand why we have all these visitors, because it doesn't get nicer than it is outside today.
Today would be a beautiful day for a ride on your bike, for example. But make sure that you're extraordinarily careful, and make sure you have the right insurance, and make sure that if you end up like this guy, you get a hold of somebody like Bruce L. Scheiner, known as the biker's lawyer. Bruce, thank you so much.
Hey, Wednesday.
I started to say you dropped out there for just a quick second, but I think I got the gist of it. As we'll talk to you next Wednesday, correct? Okay, we seem to be losing Bruce, but that's okay. We're at the end of the line anyway. Thank you so much for weighing in today, Bruce. And I think we lost him, but that's okay. Luckily, we got all that we needed to help this person out. If you need some help, please call the Port Charlotte office of Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates at 941-743-7777, 941-743-7777, and tell them that Todd sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.